Yo, yo, yo. All right, we're live. Gonna take a look at gold here for a minute on this stream. Do some analysis here for a bit and talk about what the market's looking like right now. Market just did a big drop, big pullback happening. It looks like we're getting a correction more on the 4-hour with gold. So when it comes down to looking for entries, I'm gonna teach you guys what I do to look for my entries, different entries, because I always usually use sort of the same things. Even like this morning was looking at like 51.75, for example. 51.75, that's a quarter level. We often talk about these prices. If you're on the sessions consistently enough, you've definitely heard me talk about it before. I'm sure like 80% of you guys probably should know. If you're new here, gonna go over it right now. But simple strategy we always talk about, like how I look for my entries. One of the things I like to do is use the quarters. Let me get this straight. Give me a minute. I'm just trying to get this straight. There we go. So one thing we always talk about on these streams is like whole numbers. Key price levels to watch when it comes to gold. So gold reacts very well to whole numbers. This is round price numbers, round price levels ending in 0, 0, 25, 50, 75. So a lot of times waiting for these types of prices. A lot of times, not every single setup, but you know, when you look at price and you look at how the market reacts, even recently, they're good levels to watch and key price levels to watch. So ending in 0, 25, 50, 75. I know a lot of you guys probably know this already. These are important levels to just kind of keep marked on your chart. Like you can see here from the top, not the whole entire chart, but this part of the chart that I have, you can see I have a couple lines marked. See, I got some lines marked on this chart, horizontal lines. Again, just horizontal lines. It's good to just keep these on your chart. So this is what I mean by, so right here, levels ending in 0, 25, 50, 75. I mean, I put this in this is something we talked about for a while. If you're new here, it's something you'll commonly hear me talk about. If you go watch other videos, if you watch a lot of my YouTube videos, you watch the streams constantly, there's going to be different examples, different setups using these prices, different things to analyze using these prices, different ways to understand them the more you're on the chart. So we're gonna get into it. If you're in the Discord and you scroll way back, so if you go in the Discord and you scroll way back to this thing that says blueprints, and you go all the way here, so we gotta scroll a bit to find it. Like yeah, like not too much. You don't gotta scroll too much, to be honest. So here's what I'm talking about right now. Where is it? Should be up here, kind of at the beginning, maybe. Oh, there we go. There it is. The balloon print. So that right there. Key price levels to watch on gold. Round price levels ending in 0, 25, 50, 75. So I just explained this, so it should. I just said this, so now it should make sense more here. And I'm going to show you on the charts. You guys just heard me say this. So 0, 25, 50, 75. These are key price levels to watch. Whole numbers. We talk about this every week. If you guys go on my channel, you watch some videos, you come to the streams. I've been talking about it ever since. So chart, boom, this is the chart here. You can see my chart. From the top to the bottom of the chart, there's some lines marked, horizontal lines here. So I'm talking. So when it refers to this, it's good to just keep these levels marked on your chart. Like you see my chart right now, and even this morning I was looking for buys around 51.75. If anyone remembers this morning, I was looking for buys around 51.75. There was a setup around there, and even the market went down lower and it hit 51.50. 51.75, it wasn't like the best area entry, like 51.75, 51.80 area, 51.70. There were some moves, right? It wicked down like that area. It ended up coming down to 51.50, and like this is what you got to kind of be prepared for. Like see 51.50, there's a reaction, but now we just came down to 51.25. So like a lot of my trades, I like to look at, position myself, because most of the time I go into profit, even if it's a setup that doesn't stick as much as I thought it was going to. Like most of the time I'm going into profit on my trades, even if it's just for a short period of time, using these prices. Even if something doesn't like fully react, this might recover. This might recover. Depending on how this trades, like it might recover back up. Yeah, what I like to do is keep those levels marked on the chart. Again, if you keep the mark on your chart, take a horizontal line. You mark some from like the top down. You know, you take a good piece of the chart on the 4 hour, and you go from the top down or up down, right? You take a piece of the chart. You can see I have some levels marked here, so I go 5100 here, 5100. So it's good to just keep these levels just marked on your chart. If you're inside the inner circle, there's a tool now. When you put it on, where is it? Here, hold numbers. When you put it on, it might watch, for example, let me put this thing on and see. Give me a minute. I might have to refresh the page. Come on, that's weird. Is it on my other chart? It might be on my other chart. That's why I might have to load. Yeah, like everyone's asked about this set the swing low time. Like if you just click that X and you just like click on the chart, like after you click that, see if you do, for example, if you just click on the chart, like if you click on the chart like somewhere, it'll just apply the indicator. See. So I mean, like those levels, like I have a tool again. If you're in the inner circle, that automatically marks the levels there. Like this you could drag this to set like an area, from like choosing like a point. You can take it off though. Like if you go to the tool, I think in the settings there should be something to take it off, so you don't have that thing there. Oh, it's like that. I don't know why. How are they gonna take that off? How did like? Is that it? Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, like if for example, like in the settings, that thing. I think that thing. No, it's still there. I don't know why. We're gonna fix that. I don't know why it's like that. It's kind of weird. Yeah, but like the market, like no one, like the market, like you guys gotta really study the market, study the charts, study the charts, study the charts. I teach you guys a lot. I put myself in a lot of real experiences with you guys to show you guys what trading is like, right? And how things can happen, right? So like if you look at most of the trades I send out, they're getting the executions, the strategy I'm using to get these entries, right? There's a reason behind them, right? I'm using price most of the times. Like last night was looking for buys on gold around 51.75, and they worked for a bit, right? There was a strategy there. There was a setup there around that 51.75 area, like close to it. That was in here before it actually dumped down. Like I was using 51.75, 51.80 area before the market dumped down. So even before like all the news, like this is the area we were catching trades, which wasn't directly at 51.75, but 51.75, 51.70 area. Right, there was a trade we caught, and then it dumped. You could see like 51.75 kind of held for a bit afterwards, but then where did we spike to? We spiked down to 51.50. So it's like there's going to be different entries potentially to grab or trades to lose, trades that don't work fully, but there can always be a different entry to catch using the exact same strategy, using price. I mean, 51.50. That was a crazy reaction. You could see right off of 51.50. And then market comes back in 51.75. That's why I was looking for longs again when it came back, thinking we were going to hold, but we didn't end up holding. We just broke down. 51.50. So like a harder day in the market, right? Like, and look where we just came, 51.25, 51.50 area. So I keep these prices marked. People always ask me like how I look for entries and stuff. It's actually not too complicated. Some days the market might just be harder, right? Like the only confirmations really to buy were in these candles today. That's where I was looking for longs. If you guys pay attention, like I wasn't looking for longs any time before we get these like sort of were in these candles. That was like the only time to really look for longs was in those two candles. And there was multiple times in and out of profit on trades. Well, it's not hard to get yourself in profit. If you're always looking for big moves, the market's not always going to hit. It's more likely to catch some decent reactions than it always swinging. But that's where I was looking for longs today, like was in these candles, right? Thinking, okay, maybe we could hold this area. There was reason to be buying there. And yeah, maybe its next candle eventually sets up, maybe tomorrow in the morning or later tonight. But when I'm looking for if I'm like, I'll probably be looking for entries later tonight on gold or tomorrow myself. I might send some signals. We'll see, depending on the entry. Like if it's a good entry, using the strategy, right? Because again, like the trade that I sent yesterday was just using the strategy. You guys saw it went into profit. It was using the strategy. If there's a strategy there, there's a setup there, I'll send a signal. But keep like how again, just telling you guys how I like to look for my entries most days. Keeping an eye on price, right? Like there's a lot of reactions at these price levels. If you're there at the right time, you can catch something quick enough to call it a day, right? Doesn't always have to be these home runs. Like I know everybody wants big pips, big moves. It doesn't always have to be home run trades. If you're in profit, you could quickly close a trade and call it a day. Like it's easy to get in that. I mean, we had confirmations in here for buys though. If you can't see it, then it's like it's just like any other setup where we have confirmations for things earlier today. Like some of you guys were messaging me like that some of you guys were messaging me how you were taking buys before. Notice I didn't take any buys until like I saw actual confirmations in these areas, right? So, I mean, it's just patience too, but not every setup's going to work, right? That's what you have to be prepared for. There was reason to take buys in this area, though, on gold in the morning, even before the news. Right now, gold's looking like it's like maybe going for a break and retest here. Yeah, like that was only area to really be looking for longs. You have to watch, like, look what the 4 hour just did. This thing just went for a huge move down. Oh, this movie just went for a huge move down. Okay. So this candle's interesting, like huge liquidity grab. Like you could see, we had rejection in here. There was reason to be looking for longs. Like price looked like it was going to be going up there. Like we had rejection. Oh, we just had a huge liquidity grab on that reject. There's a 4 hour rejection candle in here. We just had like a huge drop down on gold. And it's come to that second zone. Again, like, if you guys have been following the streams, it's come down to the second zone, basically. This is what I said earlier today. Like, everybody was asking me, what's gold going to do? What's gold going to do? All this and that. I was just on for a while. Was this in the morning? No, that was last night. That was a quick stream. 10 hours ago. If you notice, like, because everyone's asking me, what's gold going to do? I said two things. Like, it's either going to hold this zone or go down to the second zone. Right? Like, down here. I mapped it out this morning plenty of times. Like, everyone's asking me this. It's quite, like, I've mapped this out. I spent hours mapping this out for you guys today. Right? Hours. So it's like, why is everyone like, what's gold doing? What's gold doing? Oh my God, it's like look what I mapped out when we got on today. Like, and last night, I mapped this out 3 sessions in a row. 3 times. I've done this 3 sessions in a row. Like before this one. This is the 4th session I'm talking about this, guys. Like, guys, look. Like, everyone's DMing me like, bro, what's going on with gold? It's dropping. And I'm like, I know. We talked about, like, it's either going to hold this zone or it's going to dump down to the next area. So, like nothing's changed. Again, like, we're talking about the same thing we were talking about the last 3 sessions. Like, I've been saying this for hours now. Like, I streamed 3 hours earlier today talking about this all morning. So, I mean, I mapped it out earlier. I'm in longs. If you're wondering why I'm talking about, I'm in fucking longs right now, full port on lower entries, though, than where price is right now. I'm in profit. Floating right now. I was getting I just got a haircut and saw this dropping while I was getting a haircut. Like, this is what I mean. Like, I go over enough information every session for you to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm not going to trade this. I'll wait for this. Like, I go over A's and B's every time. So everyone's surprised gold drop. But look at what I said. Like, we're either going to hold the zone, right? We're either going to, like, hold this green area this morning. And I said the same thing last night, right? Or we're going to come down and dump here to the next zone. I always give you guys, I give you guys option A's, option B's, and even like C. Like, I give you guys a lot of forward thinking, different things you can think of, planning, like a different analysis too. Like, I can't keep on the charts for you guys 24/7. Like, I just can't. Like, I can stream for 3 hours and talk about the same thing for 3 hours to try to get my point across. As far as, okay, we have this zone and this zone, right? Maybe we come down to the second zone. I said, like, you're gonna trade the first zone or you just wait for the second zone. That's what I said this morning. Like, it's either we're gonna hold the first zone or we're gonna come down to the second zone. I said this all this morning, so everyone's acting brand new here. Like, oh my God, like, what's going on with gold, bro? SL, this, like, yo, chill. like, don't take, like, if you can't handle the heat, just learn, yo. Get good at, like, there's a skill set here too. Like, but I've gone over so many things. I'm in longs, if you're wondering. Yeah, like, obviously I'm in buys. Like, think about my strategy, guys. You guys know my strategy. If you see the market move a certain way and something happens, you gotta think, like, obviously I'm in buys. I talked about this for 3 hours today, and then last night. So, like, I mean, I was just getting a haircut. I literally just got home. I was getting a haircut, watching this drop, and I'm like, it literally is in my zone, my second zone. We talked about this earlier today, though, guys. Everyone's acting brand new here. Like, some of you guys are acting brand new. Like, okay, there's a setup here that maybe holds, which we were in profit multiple times on. Multiple times we were in profit on that. So there was something there. Or it's going to, like I said, it's going to go for that big liquidity. I don't know how many times I mentioned this morning. Like, the amount of times I said, be prepared. It could go for a big liquidity grab. It could dump to the lower zone, right? I think I said it probably 50 times this morning. Because, like, I go over a lot of stuff every session, right? But I talk about, like, yo, like, okay, we have this zone or we have the next zone, the next area. Right? Maybe, because you guys are asking me, where's the next setup going to come from? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe, like, I don't know right now, but we have two areas. Maybe, like, again. So, I mean, like, market, I was trying to get my point across yesterday and today of, like, these intense bearish moves that happen, how they react afterwards, the behavior, right? So it's like in trading, you're gonna have one thing or another, and like this didn't move up. Obviously, it went into profit multiple times. Like the setup I called out and the things I was looking at went into profit multiple times, right before this dumped today. So it's either I'm gonna trade what's here, I'm gonna try to execute as much. Like if the goal is to make money, like take profit when you're in profit, right? That's why, like, even before the news, like I said, just secure, like the one trade before that one trade before the news. I said, like, secure, go break even, if anything. Because, like, if you look, can you predict every move in the market? I don't think 100%, but you can get an idea of, like, if this doesn't work, what it's probably going to do and where it's going to go to that next zone. This was how many hours ago? 14 hours ago. I streamed 3 hours and saying, like, you know, okay, like these liquidity grabs, these intense moves, they happen. Liquidity grabs, whatever, you might have a name for them, you know, liquidity grabs, manipulation, just it's the market, supply and demand, right? But that's like, I like sometimes it might be harder for me to like tell you like what's in my brain, like share the image, like because like a lot of things are imagery too, like my brain of understanding, like, yo, this intense move could happen to set up for the buy. You can see structure, like I was talking about the low and the high, so it could still stay in this bullish structure angle and still hold. This is forecasting. Forecasting is different than trading, right? Obviously, like, okay, it could go up, and obviously it didn't. It came down. It reacted a little bit. But like I said, like I think I mentioned that like all stream today. I don't know, now it's pushed down a lot. It literally came like in that area I was highlighting today, all session, which was like literally around here. I was talking about this area where we could just maybe dump into, maybe just drop into, right? It was the first thing I started talking about. I was like, when I jumped on, it was the first. It was the first thing I was like showing, first thing I jumped into. There's a 4-hour area there. I was talking about the engulfing candle, the 4-hour area here. I mean, like, that's obviously a hard trade to catch if you're not on the charts. I was literally getting a haircut when I was full porting into this. Like, literally, as it was dropping, I'm getting a haircut, clicking buy. Like, so it's not this. It's quite the experience I just had, actually, sitting in my barber's chair, and he doesn't even know a thing. he doesn't even realize. Almost hit 51.25, 51.50. Like, you have to wait for the 4-hour to close bullish. Really, like, the 4-hour might be flipping. If you get any good 4-hour bullish closes, I would focus on that. Like, this is forming a big wick. Yeah, if you get like a solid 4-hour close, then that could be like a good confirmation potentially. It almost hit 51.25, and like I was thinking it would come down to there, like 51.50 earlier, and it did, obviously 51.50. Technically still, like, with this low, could be holding the structure. And that's like, I was talking about this earlier today. Again, like, I'm talking about some of the same stuff I was talking about earlier. It's just like it came down to that second zone now, right? Not talking about anything different that I was talking about earlier, but it did come down to the second zone, obviously. So it's like, okay, maybe it holds the second zone, or it still like trades in it. Like, obviously the first zone didn't hold. It's come to the second zone, okay? Second zone's kind of reacted, we could say, the least. First zone was attemptable. You know, there was attempts there. That's trading. But real and raw with you guys. I'm holding a big trade right now, and if it can go up, I'm trying to hold like not a swing, but trying to catch buys. Like, if I see buys, I'm gonna go for them in these markets. Like this now. So technically, like, it came to the second zone. It's reacted in the second zone now. Like, we are reacting. Question is, does it hold this? Like, does it hold that area? Do we get like a stronger close? Was this a huge liquidity grab at the lows? Right, like, pretty much just dump down, market open. So yeah, I think like we did hit that second area. Did come right into it and like reacted. So I'm now like, okay, it's reacted. It's forming this long wick. 4 hours, definitely like interesting candle to keep an eye on, I think, because like let me remove some of this stuff. You know, this long wick, he just went for this big liquidity grab, big pullback now, market spinning. It's Wednesday. We're going to be going into Thursday, Friday soon, so you guys might already know what I'm going to be thinking. Maybe going into Thursday, Friday, depending on how the structure is holding. Right? Why do I say Thursday, Friday? Thursday, Fridays have tend to have like that bullish setup. If you guys have noticed with gold, Thursdays going into Fridays have tend to like have that bullish move. So we're going Thursday into Friday. I don't know if you go back, so it's like I've been looking at this low, right? We have the low down here. We created the high. So I know, like, if that structure holds, like if we hold the low in terms of structure, we make a higher low, right? I know gold could fly up. Like, that could be potentially a big swing loading. Now we're going into Thursday. We got Thursday, Friday, right? Interesting for timing, right? Price has kind of just been dropping the last 2 days now. Right after pump up, dropping. So I'm like looking at the structure too, guys, here with the low. And I did mention that earlier today, right? With this low, high. It's like, does this structure maintain from the low to the high? Could be a timely essence too with the Thursday, Friday. We're going to Thursday, Friday, right? So it's like, that's what I think I've been looking at too. The low, the high. because that movement did do a break of structure. Like you had these highs that broke. You had, again, you had that break up, that shift up in structure. You have this here too. See right here, that's a shift up right there. So if we remain intact with that low, right, that low there, gold, I think, could be trying to create like a higher low, right, like a higher low formation on this pullback. Like we broke up, right, we broke up. Correcting. Maybe we could, if we could, like, look how, like, it just went this low, right? So 50%. It could try to do the move, like, taking into consideration what we just saw. These will probably be normal. If, like, these types of down moves, normal to probably set up for this buy and this correction, whether it's trying to go here or we go even a bit deeper for one more drive down. If that low holds, you could get a big swing if that low holds. If the low holds. That might be, like, we're going Thursday into Friday, so a lot of weeks. That's all I'm looking at. A lot of weeks. Thursday, Friday is interesting timing for gold. But yeah, like, March been interesting. It's just been consolidating, really. Like, we did break up. Like, we broke. To me, this is like a break. This break up, how it broke resistance, made a higher high. This, like, up move took out the highs, took out this high, took out these highs. That's significant. Could maintain, hold that. You have the low, high. Market could be trying to find again. And look at where it's coming to right now. Like, imagine if this candle flips up more and it's back in the 70s. It's like pure liquidity grab. And it's almost back at that daily point, which would be interesting if it does come back. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Like, I'm looking any buy opportunities, attempts, I go for them. There was one this morning. I went for it. You guys saw. I went in profit. It hit take profit one. Went out of profit. Went in profit. Took a re-entry. Went in profit. Out of profit. And it went down. If there's an attempt, I'll go for it. That's like day trading, right? So there's an attempt there. It didn't work. But trading is a numbers game too. You can't rely on one trade to make your... If you're going to trade all the time, you're going to trade every day, every week, you can just rely on one trade. So I went for the longs there, like you guys saw today. This dump down, I was explaining, again, this dump down, I was explaining this for like 3 hours today, so I was prepared for this. Like, it's something that I was explaining, like, that could happen, so I'm, like, prepared potentially for it. Whereas, like, if you're not, like, again, like, I'm prepared for it. So if you're not prepared for it, it might be like, yo, what's the market doing? Oh my gosh, you know, whoa. That type of, what do I mean by prepared? Oil shot up again. I'm still looking for longs. You know that, like, still looking for longs. Like, we have this low here. Keeping an eye on that 4 hour for sure. If we get like any good bullish closes on the 4 hour. We have this long wick. Which could be like an early sign of rejection, but second zone, like I gave you, like, second, I said, like, I even said this more. I said, you don't have to trade the news. You don't have to trade right now. Like, you could wait and see if gold dumps today and then starts a move. You know, because that's a type of setup. Like, it's either I trade what's in front of me or I wait for that. That's a type of setup, letting the market, because it takes a move to make a move, really. Like, it takes pumps to create the dumps. It takes dumps to create the pumps, really. Like, it takes bullish moves to create bearish moves. Like, you gotta You need strong bullish moves up before you get those sells. And that was at 52.25. Look at that. 52.25, around there. A little bit of rejection, a bit above. $5 above. So like it takes a move to make a move. Like, see this down candle here? That's similar to what just happened on gold. Market dumps, but that creates a move. So like, strategy is being out of the market when those happen. Like, you either trade what you see, or you let the market a lot of times create these significant movements that can sort of catapult you into another move. Gold, those are some of the easiest types of reversals to catch when it, say, makes a lower low or a higher high. Right? Structure too. Like, if the market has like a structure like this and it comes down, breaks the low, you're likely you're going to get a bounce. You're likely to get a trade. It doesn't mean it's going to go up forever, but you're likely to get that bounce or a trade there. An entry. It almost hit 51.25. Like, gold's been moving a lot. Came down hundreds of pips. Right now, it's like chilling around 51.50, 51.55. It looks like a break and retest. That's why I'm like looking for longs. 4 hour would have to like have a strong bullish close. Thursday, Friday, most Thursday, Fridays have pumped up for gold. I don't know, gold's been pretty chill. Like, this is kind of like how the March seasonality looks too, but gold has been the last 2 weeks now, we've been just kind of we have $5,000 down here. Now we're above 5,100. To me, it's like gold's building up for something for sure. Like, look what price has been doing. It's just been more like up and down, pretty equal. There's a lot of equal movements, but yeah, it's just been more like low, it goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. Yeah, gold might be building up for something. I've been saying that, and like the more time goes on, price just stays more sideways. March tends to be bullish for gold. Who knows? Like, it could try to push up into April if you're looking at seasonality. If you look at the seasonality chart for gold, usually this time of the around gold is strong. I mean, it was already strong coming into these times. Like, look at seasonality. Like, it's normal price action. If you look at it, like, drops off into March, but look at like end of March. It rallies more in the end of March, more on seasonality. Maybe we're more bullish going into April. April tends to be a strong month. There could be a rally set it. Like, if you look at seasonality, January, February, March, April, like this quarter, the first quarter of the year tends to be bullish for gold. So if you look at even like what we've done so far for March, like we had a huge drop right in the beginning of March, end of February, beginning of March. So literally like end of February coming into March, prices dropping. So middle of the month, maybe we're setting up for like a shift. We are in the mid, like nearing that middle of the month. Liquidity grabs. Seasonality, that's what seasonality tends to be like more in March. It shows some like phases or it stalls. Pushes more up into April being more bullish, like going into April bullish. That could be a factor. Like if you look at the last literally 2 weeks now, going on to 2 weeks now, gold has been kind of just more sideways. Even this for the last days, we've been just building this range. It's a bit more in a rectangle. So it's like depending on how that holds. Does this rectangular shape hold and break out? Do we hold, break out? Seasonality, if you look at it, when you look at it, there is like a little, you know, kind of chop point in there, kind of up and down. Shows bearish, bullish. That looks like maybe what is the market's kind of doing right now in a way for gold. Even when you look at the daily's been, you know, again, beginning of March dropped obviously, and now the last, like ever since that drop, it's just been kind of that could be, you know, we could be in that March phase potentially. Maybe there's a push up in April for that swing, for that bigger move, for a rally. But that's seasonality, and as time goes by and we get into like the middle of the month now, you can kind of see how like this looks, and you're like, okay, it looks like this just kind of goes up and down, and then end of the month rallies. That could be building up. When you look at how price has been like developing for the last like weeks, 2 weeks now in March. And yeah, like look at the beginning of like end of February, it tends to sell off into March. It's like literally like first days of March just sold off. The other one thing, like April, we're in the middle of the month here, like nearing the middle of the month, April. Might be a timing thing where like in the last 2 weeks of the month or that last week of the month, we're getting that like stronger push into April. We're above 5K, we're above 5,100. Those are like psychological levels. That the market crashed back to, dipped back to. So it's like if this range like holds, and like I said, remember how it broke out already. I've already said like we have the low. I said it earlier today too. We have this high, and we broke out these highs. We broke out again. That's a shift up. So like, is this trying to hold flip? Right? It could be realistically when you look at like seasonality too with gold, and then April, May, June. Like if you look at April, May, June, there tends to be like more bearish and more consolidation. April, May, June. But then August, September, October. So it's like you have like 2 phases in the year where gold can be really strong. January, February, March, April. And then you have kind of like after July, like going into August, September, October. There can be strong phases even the year when you look at August, September, October. After this phase, the April, May, like after April, you can kind of see how price tops out, consolidates, stays sideways. It's not just going up, like there's more equal up and down. There's some months more down. But then like, yeah, stronger phases again are like July, August, or August, like this, going into August, September, October. Yeah, so the seasonality chart, it looks interesting when you look at it. Especially with what price has been like sort of doing. Kind of looks like we've been doing. We got it's like we got a drop, rebounded, back up and down, and now like maybe bullish structure into April. What if bullish structure? This is flipping. This 4 hours flipping to back in the range. It's coming back in the first. Is it? Oh my gosh! If it comes back to the first zone that I marked up earlier, that's That's how you know it's like trying to set up for those buys. If it comes back to the first zone from today, then you know, like, yo, this thing's trying to go for those buys. Like if it flips back into that first zone from earlier, like the 70s, 51.75, that's interesting. If it does that. If this thing flips back, that's super interesting. Because again, we came down. I marked this out earlier today, guys. So like, I won't keep talking about the second zone. But again, like we came down to it and we reacted, right? Like price is showing like a reaction. If this candle actually flips back up, or if we flip up soon, it's like 51.75. That's interesting. But yeah, like if a lower, not a lower, higher low gets made, like that seasonality, that like swing into April could potentially come. And yeah, like I said, it looks like, because remember, gold like dumped beginning of March. Yeah, it's this dumped beginning of March, and like end of February coming into March. And then like rebounded, went up, rebounded a bit, came down, back and forth, went underneath these lows, just broke up. So like when you look at this, similar, right? Like down, rebounded, comes down, goes underneath these lows. Could be building up, right, from the looks of it. $51.50, like I was taking buys at $51.50 and then it went a bit lower and I added entries. So it's like I was in a 200 pip drawdown, but I was only down $1,000. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna add entries. Like, and I was taking buys when it's kind of dumped down to 51.50 and it went lower. 51.50 again, quarter level, like 51.50 just like held. It almost came to 51.25. It literally looks like it's going to come back to 51.75, which is going to be, if it does, it's going to be literally in the first zone that I was marking earlier today. So it literally just dumped down, like I said, and it's reclaiming the first zone potentially. Like it's potentially reclaiming that first zone. Like people always ask me why I'm looking for buys one day, and it's like, well, there was a confirmation and setup in front of me. But it's like now, look what price is doing. Like it's trying to find that buy, right? If it comes back in those 70s, like really reclaims those 70s, that's significant. Like this candle just wicked down and reclaimed the same zone. I was like wow, like I don't just say things for random too. Like I was saying all like, but it's happening now. It's happening at a later time, right? I don't just like say these things for random. It literally dumped down. It literally hit. Look at my prices, by the way. It's coming right back up. It's already coming back in the first zone. Like it's attempting to come back in the first zone. I said don't. I said I said today, don't wait on me, guys. I put this in the chat. I started buying at 51.50. It went lower. I added more to the position. I just wrote something because I was literally not even on the charts. I was on my phone, like on literally like getting a haircut, like out and about. I was like, oh shit, there's a signal here. I'm getting a haircut, and I look at the chart. I'm like, oh fuck, there's like literally a trade here. Look what it did. Like, see, a lot of guys freak out, but bro, I said this was gonna happen earlier. Like, I wouldn't have spent 3 hours. Like, I was gonna do a quick stream earlier today. I wasn't even gonna stay on for the news. But I stayed on because I was like, yo, like I gotta make sure I get my point across, like, because I probably said the same thing all stream. Yeah, like, literally, like, I would have been saying either we're gonna hold this zone, or we're gonna come down to the next zone and then reset up for buys. Same thing. So I always, like, I always give you guys the clues of, like, I always give you guys, like, different things to look at too, like the other things that you can be more patient and wait for. Like, if there's a trade set up in front of me, I'm gonna go for it, right? If there's like one in front of me, yeah, like we talked about it all throughout the stream, especially at the beginning. If there's a trade set up in front of me, I'm gonna go for it, but you know, being prepared that other moves can happen, sort of like that. It's like trying to come back. Like, that was a huge liquidity grab. The candle before was like bullish, but that's like when the day's like finished. Like, that candle closes the day too. Market opens, dumps. That dump turns into a buy. This is what I've been trying to go over a lot of sessions and show you guys different examples from my trades, signals I've sent, where this happens even afterwards. Because it's a type of setup. Like, it's a type of trade setup. Like, that was definitely a liquidity grab, because the candle before was, you could see, like, there was a green candle before, small green, not like a crazy rejection, especially for the time that it's at. This candle sweep down all the way almost to 51.25. Now it's looking like it's trying to reclaim 51.75. So again, like, I wouldn't have been looking for buys. Like, the market's trying to literally come back to where it was right now. This candle's super interesting. It looks like a hammer, like a pin bar shifting. So like I said, what I got on, maybe the 4 hour can close significantly. Like, this is significant rejection now. It's turning to like a pin bar, a hammer. But yeah, like, go look at the chart, like, go watch. I mean, a lot of you guys are probably on that stream, but I even said, like, I was drawing this out, like, this trade doesn't have to work, right? It could come down and then make that move all stream. Some of you guys forgot about that already. Some of you guys forgot about, like, that already, and it's still the same day, right? So, like, nothing really changed. I don't, like, now it's like, that was the only next setup I would have, like, for now it's like, okay, 4 hour flipping bullish, like, just flipped crazy, like, it's like looking like a pin bar hammer. Yeah, like, it's coming back to like the first zone almost. It's like, yeah, like in the area of 51.70, 51.80, like, it's like literally coming back to that first area. But you want to know what's significant about that? The daily reference point. Look at the daily reference point. I was talking, look at, the daily reference point. It's back above the daily reference point. What do you know? Evan, why were you looking for longs this morning? Well, I was at the daily reference point. Oh, look, it's back at the daily reference point. Guess what? I'm going to be looking for the same trade I was looking for this morning, guys. Nothing's changed. Like, nothing has changed, to be honest. I'm still going to talk, like, see, I don't know if you guys remember the daily reference point. I was like, why were you looking for longs this morning? Well, the technical analysis was there. I want to see your guys' trades and charts on your, the daily, look at, like, like this 4-hour candle is significant. What it's doing is significant because it's literally completely reclaiming. Go listen to what I said earlier today. I was like, it could reclaim, it could recover, it could do a huge sweep down, and like, I don't want to say what I said happened, but literally, if you listen to what I said, I was like, the market could try to come down today, do a liquidity sweep, do a liquidity grab, and then it could still try to reclaim and recover the same zone. So I kept going over the fucking daily reference point. The daily reference point, man. Some of you guys forgot about that already too, didn't you? We're in the daily reference point. So it's like you still have maybe a setup here developing. It's exactly what we were looking at this morning, pretty much just a way more of a confirmation even now, because this candle, you could still wait for an additional 4-hour close. But like pretty much like same shit from this morning. We're back at the same zone. We were literally looking for trades around 5170, 5175 from this morning. It's literally right back. So you guys know what I'm gonna do and what I like. That's what I mean. When you see these movements, you gotta remember the things I teach you guys. Like, they can set up, and like the things I go over. I wouldn't have talked about this for 3 hours today if I wasn't like seeing something like, yeah, maybe, yeah, we could go down. It's like, wow, it's yeah, like wow, this 4-hour literally came all the way back to the zone. Well, the zone I drew was more here. 5170, 5180. This was like the zone I was looking at a little bit higher. There it was a bit higher actually. Yeah, like 5170, 5175 up to there. Yeah, so it's like coming back almost to that like first zone you can see that I drew this morning, pretty much like close. This 4-hour looks pretty significant, I would say. You can still wait for another 4-hour bullish, but like I said, I think gold, like it's time of the year. Went over a couple things. Remember seasonality. March might like. This looks like, to me, like it looks like, oh, that looks like kind of like build up, like okay, price builds up and then it runs at a later time, going into like April. Oh, maybe in a week, maybe after this week, going into next week, it starts pushing, or it brings that seasonality. Only saying that because the seasonality has been pretty on point with gold, like the last year and even the last couple months. Like it's been pretty on point if you go like flow through the chart, and if you've been keeping up with the chart and then you look at seasonality, it's been pretty on point. So even like especially over the last year. Yeah, that's one thing to take into consideration. But I'm going to wrap this session up for the night, guys. Keep it on the 4-hour. You could possibly get like 4-hour rejection, which is like starting here. Looks like 5150. 5150 held here. That's where I was starting to take buys like a couple hours ago, I think. Yeah, what time was it at? Yeah, a couple hours ago, like 7:30-ish. 5150. It's like holding. It almost came to 5125. So it's like those prices matter. Like moves can come around them, off of them. Who knows if we go to 5100 later in the week? But right now, if you're looking at the market right now, it's like 4 hours looking like it's trying to flip, maybe reclaim the zone, maybe flip into a bullish move. I'm looking at this for like a breakout. Like I'm looking for that push up. So I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. That's gonna be it for me. Here, I'm just going over some analysis, similar analysis to what I went over earlier today again, like very similar. Like I said, we could drop down to the zone, potentially start pushing up from there. which we did. We already dropped down to the zone, and it's reacting. So this, it's maybe important to watch this or the next 4 hour and see how they close. Potentially could try to shoot up. I still see buys coming. I'm like, if there's buy setups, I'm gonna look for them when they're there. Like this morning, I was looking for buy setups when they were there. This morning, was looking for buys when they were there. Market comes to the zone again. There could have been other entries though. Even like this morning, it's like the market did dump to 51.50. So we'll see. Like 4 hour looks like it might be trying to flip. Remember, like I said, I gotta wrap it up though. That's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'll see everybody next stream. Quick analysis on gold, and we'll see how this sets up tonight. I'm out though. That's gonna be it for me. Keep an eye on the 4 hour. You're getting like I said, rejection already. Keep an eye on prices. Like I said, study those prices, guys. They matter. And yeah, it might be like a Thursday, Friday move. That's setting up. And then like this, take this into consideration. I'm out though. I'll see everybody next stream. I'm going to wrap it up.